Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
Welcome to the Our Team Podcast. I'm Brian Auer, and I'm here with Lori Ann Auer. Wow. We're doing this again.
Yeah.
This is cool. We don't always get to do these together, but this is the second one we've done in
7 days.
In the last week, yeah. Mm-hmm. So pretty cool about that. I wanted to talk today about some reasons why I think a lot of newer agents fail. And the reason why I want to talk about this is we have, I'm hearing a lot of agents getting out of the business right now. And we can probably guesstimate that that's has a lot to do with the reason that, rates have gone up and it's not a buying frenzy anymore, and it's just a little. Yeah, I mean, it is a buying frenzy. The buyers that are there, there are fewer, but the ones that are out there, I mean, they're just multiple offers on a shortage of inventory. So there's not a ton of deals happening.
Right.
We're down. I mean, everyone that I've talked to is down about 50% in their production. We're down about 50% in our production. Actually, maybe even a little more across the board. So a lot of agents naturally are getting kind of flustered and frustrated, and they don't really have enough of the.
They don't have any grit, is what they don't have.
They don't have grit, that's for sure. But they didn't really come in with any real specificity to begin with. So it's just an easy, I'm out of here type of attitude. So I was thinking and kind of putting together a list of why I think agents fail. And I have 9 that I want to talk about. 9 reasons. There's probably more reasons, or there could be just less than this too. But the reason why I want to do this is not just to say, I figured it out. These are why agents leave, and you're crazy for leaving. If you're thinking about getting into the business, or maybe you're new in the business, this podcast is for you, because I want you to avoid these things so that you don't become one of those numbers of so many people that are leaving the business for a variety of reasons. The first one is, and I don't think these are in the right, there's not a right or wrong order in these, right? No. The first one is you may be somebody that was interested but not fully committed to real estate.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between being interested in something and being fully committed. Why don't you expound on that?
You want me to expound on that? Committed, first and foremost, committed to yourself to do what it takes, and not fully committed through the process, doing the things that need to be done on a daily basis, like spending maybe 2 days preparing for an open house instead of complaining that open houses don't sell houses, or complaining that buyers are liars, which, I never like that saying. And I don't know, they don't have the passion. So
yeah, so it might be summed up that way too, right? Interested, not committed means you don't have the passion or
the drive, the wherewithal.
How about the why? Why are you in this business, right? They lack a why.
You want to know what their why is? The number one wrong why. The commission check.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
If that is your why, you just get out of here.
Right.
You have to be passionate about your clients first and foremost, putting your clients first, and helping make their dreams come true.
Yeah.
Maybe help set up their portfolio to start. Buyers don't understand that what they qualify for, or what isn't a payment that they even want to take on.
Yeah.
So you have to really be there to advise and guide them, and be passionate about the process.
Yep.
Again, you got to be committed to have all that.
Right. Interested but not committed. That's definitely a big one on why real estate agents fail. The second one is they lack strategy.
That's
right?
you.
You have to have a strategy, right? You can't just come in haphazardly. There's got to be a strategy. And we don't have to delve too deep on that, but just generally speaking, there has to be a plan. There has to be a strategy, and back to having a strong why. That will drive your strategy. That'll cause you to want to stay focused on your strategy. Mm-hmm. I think in any business that you're going to get into, whether it's starting an online business or, anything, any entrepreneurial drive, spirit has to have strategy behind it. You can't implement anything if you don't map it out, right?
Map it out is a great thing. And
Yeah.
that is map out homes to go tour, map out parks and things that bring people to our area. We've got a lot of things that are brought to our area that bring people to our area, and the wineries are one of them, the restaurants.
Yeah.
Not a ton of entertainment, but you've got Changa, know the tax base,
Yeah.
know the different communities. I think that's a really big deal.
So you're taking that as that's part of the strategy of being good at what you do.
Right.
Is learning the ins and outs of everything about where you're selling. Yeah, that's definitely part of the strategy. I'm talking about even just like your business model, like where you're going to spend money, how much money you're going to allocate, how much time are you going to do this? What's your strategy, right? Where are you going to get the message out that you sell real estate? The third thing is, I think, a big one, and it really has to do with pride. A lot of agents are afraid to make mistakes. Right? People, not agents. People are afraid to make mistakes.
They're embarrassed.
They don't want to get embarrassed. Mm-hmm. Exactly. They don't want to be that person that, is out there making a fool of themselves or whatever. They're afraid because pride gets in the way of progress.
Right.
And, that's a big reason why agents kind of fail, is they're just like, I don't want to try that. That works for other people. No, I'm not going to door knock. Oh, I'm not going to do a video. I don't want to do videos on Instagram. That's for other people. No,
and
I don't.
Also, it's just the process. Once you get them in escrow or you have a listing, what's the process?
Mm-hmm.
And strategy kind of falls into that too. And so they allow their client to run the whole show, and the client doesn't even know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care if they've bought 3 homes. The agent should know more than the client, hands down.
Yep.
So
you think they're afraid? They're afraid to learn.
So they don't say anything because they're afraid they're going to say the wrong thing.
Oh, I see what you mean.
They're going to be embarrassed, so they just let the client.
Yeah. So fear
run the
comes
show.
into it that way too.
For sure.
If they do get a listing appointment, they're afraid to say the wrong thing. They are working with a buyer. They're afraid to say the wrong thing, so they don't offer
They don't
enough
say
value.
anything.
Right. Wow.
So I guess
never
first
thought
and
about it
foremost,
that way.
get yourself educated on real estate.
So education can sort of extinguish fear.
Correct.
But I was really coming at it from a place of they're afraid to fail and try new things and whatever because of pride. They don't want to look stupid. And so I think that's a
Kind of
big
like
reason.
riding a bike. When you first were riding a bike and you always fell.
Yeah.
But
I never fell riding a bike.
almost all of us know how to ride a bike, so it just takes practice.
Yeah. How about this one?
Yeah.
The fourth one. No role model, or even worse, a really bad role model.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I was just talking to Sean yesterday about the importance of having a mentor and getting into the business under the wings of either joining a team or having a mentor, having a role model.
Right.
So important. But can you imagine if you had a bad role model? That's even worse than not having one.
Yeah.
That's a huge reason why a lot of agents fail. They don't have anybody to look up to or to lean in with.
Right.
They don't have somebody that's kind enough or cool enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna raise you up with no strings attached. I just want to help you.
Right. Most
You know?
people have office managers that haven't sold real estate in 10 years. They don't even know the new contracts, process, procedures, none of it. So that's a big problem in offices.
It is. Would you consider yourself a mentor?
Well, there's 15 agents on our team. I mentor all day, every day.
I'm just asking.
Okay.
You are a very good mentor. Your style of mentorship is just come along and watch me and you'll figure it out. That's kind of your style. You teach by bringing people in real close and say, listen to me, watch me, ask questions. I'm going to help you, but just let's watch me do this. That's kind of that's how you
Well,
really
through
do
the
things.
years of doing this and bringing agents in and encouraging them to be the best version of themselves, is every one of them has said they don't get it until they see it. See, I'm
Yeah.
very visual,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I want to watch.
You like to teach the way that you like to learn, which is you're very visual.
Come to
Yeah.
find out, most every agent on the team is, that works.
More visual. Yeah. Yeah.
We've got Blake on our team that says, here, try to figure this out, because he said I did that to him,
Mhm.
and then come back and tell me, what you discovered.
Yeah.
And that was kind of funny. I learned that from somebody that I won't mention their name, but it's just like, here's 10 files. Figure
Yeah.
it out when I was an assistant.
Yeah.
So
Figure these out.
I figured it out.
So, number 4 is a role model. Definitely, a lot of agents fail from not having a good role model.
Right.
The 5th one is something that I think is overlooked by a lot of agents when they get into the business, and that is inconsistent marketing.
Yeah.
You always have to be marketing.
Something just came to me. So
Yeah.
let's go back to number 4.
Okay.
Because you don't always have to have a role model. But think about it. I mean, we've got our coach that's a role model. We've got Kyle Whistle and Dan Beer. We have all these guys that are role models, even to us seasoned agents. So
Yeah.
you'll always want to have a role model so you can
For sure.
continue to level up
Yeah.
and do better, be better. Maybe not sell more homes, but maybe sell less homes and have a more relaxed type of
Quality of life.
Quality of life.
Mhm.
Vacation a little more.
Yeah.
Go fishing.
Yeah. Fishing.
Yeah. Okay, so go back to, I think it's important that if new agents are watching this, they're going to be thinking, well, how long do I need a role model? At what point in time, okay, I've sold 6 homes, do I still need a role model?
Mm-hmm.
My answer is yes.
Well, yeah, I think at some point you have a role model to really kind of get you into the business and help kind of grease the gears a little bit, right? Somebody to help you get on your way. But I don't think there's ever a time in your real estate career that you won't need coaching. I think I get constant coaching, and I'm a coach.
Right.
Andy Nazaroff is my coach, right? But babe, you understand he gets a ton of coaching himself, right? I mean, almost every agent that are senior partners of ours at EXP, they get high-level coaching, and their high-level coach gets high-level coaching, and so on and so on. It's so important.
It's very important.
You need a coach. You need someone to help you stay on track, accountability, all that stuff.
Right.
So, number 5, inconsistent marketing is really something that I think a lot of agents do. They sort of get out there and maybe reach out to all their friends and family and let them know that they're in real estate, but they just kind of end up being a secret agent because they're not marketing. They think it's just a one and done or just a few times.
What
But
happens is they just don't have the money.
Mhm.
They'll just say they just don't have the money.
But there's
They're-
things you can do for free to market, right?
Yeah.
Social media is a great one.
Right. Not
Yeah.
everybody's as good as you.
Well, I mean, that goes back to mentorship. If you don't have a mentor that will show you how to do a lot of the marketing stuff to get your name out there for free, then you've got the wrong mentor.
Right.
That's even worse, right? Marketing is something that you have to do consistently. How about this one, number 6? If you come into this business with that mentality of, I'm just going to work when the work is there, and certainly I'm only going to do real estate 9 to 5. That's kind of my thing, 9 to 5. And I need weekends off.
Right.
So this is a 9 to 5 mentality. But even worse than that, they're just, if they have nothing going, then they sit around and do nothing because they have nothing going.
Right.
But if you have the mentality that this is a 9 to 5 job and you have no transactions going, then you have from 9 a.m. to 5 o'clock to work on your business. And there's various different pillars that you can work on in your business to make sure that you are building your pipeline, right? So if you don't understand, so it's really 2 things. It's you can't have a 9 to 5 mentality because that's the wrong mindset.
Right.
But if you have no business going, you should at the very minimum work 9 to 5 in and on your business.
Right. Yeah, the funniest thing is when you listen to somebody's voicemail, when we were listening to voicemails, if you're calling me after 5 o'clock, I'll get back to you tomorrow morning after 10:30.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you're so not going to be successful at this job.
Those
you know?
agents are already out of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Thank you for calling me. If you're receiving this message after 6 p.m., like, I'll call you in the morning. No, you won't, because I'm going to find another agent right now. Because
Right.
I just got off work and I want to search for homes, and so it's my turn to find somebody that wants to work. So yeah, you can't. You're gonna
Blessed
get
is the flexible. You have to be flexible, again, because it's not about you, it's about the client.
Right.
The client's wants and needs and their timing.
Yep.
And you better be available.
Yes, indeed. So that's a bad mindset. That's a bad work ethic. So number 6, having that 9 to 5 attitude is definitely disaster.
Yep.
The 7th one is something that is a little bit of an X factor, and that is like a sales swagger. Do you know a lot of people get into this business and forget that being in real estate is at the core, it's being in sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's being in sales. So if somebody says, hey, what do you do for a living? It's not wrong for me to first and foremost say, well, I'm in sales. Oh, great. What do you sell? I sell real estate. It's sales.
Yeah.
So that requires some swagger. Maybe swagger's a little too Mick Jagger sounding, but swagger could be interpreted in many ways. You don't have to be slick and slimy.
That's why you hear me say all the time, I'm not in sales.
Yeah, but you are, and there's no way around it. Your form of sales is through education.
That's right.
And your form of sales
Advising
is
and
through
guiding and informing them, and then they make the educated decision.
Yeah.
They want to buy or they want to rent,
right. But
or do they want to move up or move down?
But in
Move out of
in the
state?
back of your mind, even if it's not coming to you this way, you're constantly wanting to provide incredible service so that the transaction gets done.
Mm-hmm.
That's sales. So you're delivering your swagger.
I guess the word sales has always come across.
Embrace it, babe. Embrace it.
No, that car salesman, it's
Yeah.
just dirty, raunchy.
Well, and that's why they put the word car in front of that type of salesman, because everyone knows that your used car salesman is just there to try to cover up as much as they can so you'll buy the damn car and get out of there. But we don't do that. We don't do that. You go into a home and you're just constantly educating. You're constantly providing value. Your swagger, your sales, don't be mad at that word, sales swagger comes out in the form of educating and helping, raising objections before they even come up. Your style but that's sales. So figure out what your form of sales is and drill down on it and learn to get even better at it. Mm-hmm. And you will be ridiculously successful. And if you don't do that, if you don't have any swagger, then you're going to fail.
Right.
You're going to fail. You can't be that agent that comes into this business and says, I just don't like sales. I don't want to do sales. Well, then you don't want to sell real estate. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
You might still be in the business. Maybe you can be a transaction coordinator or get into escrow or some other facet of real estate. But if you're in real estate sales, it's called real estate sales for a reason, and you're going to need some swagger a little bit. And if you feel like you've got it in you, but you don't know how to make it come out of you, then there's some great books on how to unleash that salesperson in you. And you can do it and be so honest and be full of integrity. Mm-hmm. People want to buy something. They need direction, right? And if they don't have the direction, then you should be the one that's kind of guiding them through it. We're not talking about steering. We're just talking about, using your swagger to get the deal done. So in a way that is mutually beneficial, but still more beneficial for the buyer who really needs to get into a home.
Or the seller.
Or the seller. Exactly. Number 8, no goal and no tracking. Tracking and measuring is probably one of the big things. Because if you're spending money or you're spending your time, then you need to figure out how much of your money and time is actually paying. What's the return on that investment?
Right.
You'll never know that unless you track and measure, right?
Right.
So you should always know, okay, and you don't have to know it by heart, but you should be able to look at a spreadsheet and say, okay, I've spent this much money on this lead source, and I've got this much out, and here was my return. So good. That's a good lead source. Here's another one where I spent this much money, I got this much return, barely broke even, and it took a lot of time. Well, how about we pull back on that one and spend a little more on the one that gave you some more return?
Right.
Right? You just want to have, be in a place where you're tracking and measuring so that you can know where to invest. And I think a lot of agents fail because they just, after a year, they just throw a bunch of money at a bunch of stuff, and they kind of don't know where their money's coming or where their time is being spent.
Right.
It needs to be tracked.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
The last one is just kind of goes to, I think it sort of glosses over every single one of the ones we've already talked about in the first 8, and that is
Kind of 6 and 9 blend together real well.
they do. Yeah. I think 9 kind of goes with all of them. It's poor scheduling or just a weak routine. We talk a lot about time blocking in our business for our agents. You know, you should dedicate a certain amount of time every single day for phone calls and follow-up and new leads and social media and providing value out there in content. Things like you have, X amount of hours in a day. And, going back to one of the other ones we talked about is like if you don't have any deals going, then spend time on the other parts of the business that are so important that you're not going to have that much time to do when you have a few deals going. Really time blocking everything.
I think
And
it's just conversations. Just get out there and have conversations,
but how can you do that if you're not blocking time to go out and have conversations?
That's right.
Yeah, you got to have a routine. You got to wake up at a certain time, get to the office at a certain time, or maybe you're at a home office. Our brokerage doesn't even have offices. We
Right.
have an office for our team, but so where's the accountability there? That's going to be checking in with your mentor or checking in with your, maybe somebody that's a senior partner of yours or so. What I'm talking about. You have to have that routine, that schedule. And you got to do the best you can to stick to it. Otherwise, the wheels are going to fall off that
You're
bus,
just
and you're going to
swirling
bail
all day long. You're just going
Yep.
in every direction except being
Yeah.
focused.
Yeah, for me, if I didn't have direction and things to do I would be fishing every day and smoking cigars.
Right.
Right? This would be so. I can't do that because I have a business to run and I have a team to take care of and all that stuff. So, it's just really important to keep in mind that having a strong schedule with really benefit-rich things to do, that are calculated to do, that's really working on your business is very important. So before we end, let's blast through these real fast. 9 things that kind of destroy you as a realtor that will cause you to fail. Number 1, you're interested but not committed. Number 2, you've got no strategy. Number 3, it's pride. You're afraid to fail, right? Number 4 is not having a role model or having a bad one. Number 5 is inconsistent with your marketing. Number 6 is having a really bad work ethic, 9 to 5 mentality.
Right.
Number 7, no sales swagger. Number 8, no goal and not tracking your numbers. And number 9, poor scheduling and weak routines. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover.
Yeah. Don't do any of that.
Don't do any of that. If you guys need help with not doing it, maybe you need help avoiding all 9 of those things. There's more than 9, but reach out to us because we would love to help. We're at a place in our lives in this business where we really take just as much joy in helping other agents as we do in being successful in our own business.
Yeah.
That's at least half of it for me.
Right.
I know it's at least half of it for you.
Right.
It's something about just giving back and and helping other agents succeed, and with literally no strings attached. We just want to help you avoid some of these pitfalls. If you want to go deeper on any of these things, reach out to us. Anyway, thank you for joining us, you guys. Hope you got some value out of this. We will catch you on the next
Before you go, would you do us a favor? If you found any value in this content, would you please like and subscribe to it? Maybe even leave a comment. It really helps us out.